Yo, we're back. Obviously left the last video on a slightly higher note. Yeah, just wanted to sort of do another one. I was at the gym, like literally just got back. I don't know. I'm walking back. I don't know, and I'm just angry. I'm so angry. I'm like fucking. You know when you can like feel it in your bones. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just sort of. I think. And I just thought, you know what, why not? Let's just sort of direct that energy into something positive. And yeah, basically, obviously this was meant to be maybe more economics focused, and it's surprise it's not going to be. I was looking into doing that sort of stuff, and yeah, basically was kind of sort of floating ideas and looking into how it could be done, kind of, you know, all the everyone gets started, you sort of imitate. No, imitate's a nice word for copy, but you know, I think I kind of want to maybe do sort of Kyla Scanlon type educational videos, like our whole spiel is that, like, you know, videos on how people actually experience the economy, you know, not what the numbers are saying necessarily. So yeah, was just looking into it, and I guess she's like a US economist, and you know, I would say ran into a few problems, shall we say. Basically, I don't know, just a few hurdles, I guess, that nothing that would stop me completely, but I think is making it a bit harder. Sorry, just to rewind a little bit, I think I'm just making this just because I'm kind of like, instead of making nothing, I'd rather sort of let you know the process, okay? Because I feel like, you know, otherwise I'll just get back into doing fuck all, okay? So this is like a second best, all right? And yeah, so I was looking into it. I was thinking, you know, obviously she talks about stuff that's very current, like news related stuff, with always an economic spin, sometimes philosophical. I think she really reads a bit of that stuff, or a lot of it. Yeah, so I was like, where do we start with the UK? Because obviously at the US, the culture is way different. Like, people are obsessed with data, and there's a lot more of it published. Fred, which is like their national like database, publishes way more than, and is much better, much easier to use. I mean, I fucking used it for my dissertation in uni. Way easier to use than the Office for National Statistics, ONS, which is the UK's official sort of data body. Even, you know, more recently, the ONS did a press release on how they're cutting back on the amount of data that they're releasing because it's so sort of patchy and not at high quality. Like, they're people don't do surveys. Like, it's much less of a thing in the UK. So yeah, and basically, so I kind of, obviously, the US, like, people are obsessed with the market, and you know, I think people are a bit more sort of clued into the economy or whatever. Obviously, I'm not saying they're better economists, but just like in terms of, people are paying more attention, probably to not great sources like fucking what was it, Kramer, the fucking like stock guy. Anyway, irrelevant. Yeah, so I'm kind of I'm realizing that, you know, the data is way less abundant, and also in terms of topic ideas, I feel like it seems like like the titles are always mad. Like, it's like how a potato like explains the economy or some shit like that. You know, and obviously it's not about potatoes, but it's sort of like, in a sense it is, you know. And yeah, so I was kind of just looking at sort of, and I was like, you know what, I'll start with like the FT Classic, go on there, see what's been talked about, you know, in terms of the UK and Britain. John Murdoch, like their head sort of data analyst. He obviously, that would be an interesting place to start, see what stuff he's talking about. Lots of charts and data points, and yeah, I'm looking through obviously loads of topics, and yeah, I guess they're not, it's good stuff, but in terms of replicating, I don't want to replicate, but obviously sort of read their see how they came to their conclusions. I would find other sources, sort of collate them, come up with my own sort of opinion, and come up with my own conclusions based on different sources. First Hurdle, they use a lot of private sort of companies to collect data and sort of analyze it for them, I guess, or like sort of, I doubt their journalists are creating the graphs for the articles. Like, it's definitely done by some separate company, or at least there's maybe a platform that makes it easier for them. So even looking at what was I looking at? It was like how graduates are like becoming sort of dislocated from like the economy, or sort of that sort of vibe. It was basically, I think it was it escapes me now, but it was something around, obviously it's extremely hard to get a job at the moment, and I have a lot of friends personally that like are struggling with that, and it's a huge issue. So I was kind of like, okay, this should be a cool topic to talk about, and yeah, it's like, I don't know, not that I would need to replicate the same graphs, charts, etc., but it would kind of it'd be useful. I felt like, I was like, oh great, like they'll definitely have some great data sources, fucking private, do you know what I mean? And I can't just rip out a graph from their website and stick it on my video, because that would just be copyright claimed instantly, or the video would be taken down. So doing a bit more brainstorming, sort of, I guess it's still useful because I can get like the story and then still sort of check other sources, use publicly available data from like the ONS, IMF, International Monetary Fund, and other sort of Bank of England, all sorts of places that aren't as sort of granular, like detailed, but could maybe still tell the same story. And yeah, at the same time, I'm also kind of like, what do people want to know? Like, what, the real wages haven't increased since like fucking 2008, which is basically, like how much you can actually buy with your like your spending power. Obviously, cost of goods goes up, your wages are worth less, and relatively. So yeah, that's a huge issue, and yeah, lots of other things. So I'm still kind of going through that process, and yeah, hold on, just a bit thirsty. That is non-alcoholic, by the way, just to let you know. I'm on this weekend, I was like, no fucking going out, okay. Literally, it was, I don't know, it's been good. I feel like got quite a few mates in Edinburgh where I'm at, and yeah, it's kind of there's always like social sort of stuff on, and I feel like, yeah, I was kind of like, just wanted a chill weekend, and yeah, but basically that's an update on the process. I do want to keep this short, it's almost 10 minutes, so I will leave it there. Yeah, the kind of, obviously not much value there, but just enjoy it, and yeah, but there you go, the energy has been directed into a positive place. I feel like I almost recorded a thing on Friday. Maybe it was a bit too personal. I was just like, talking about being online and chronically for a long time, and I think a lot of people have similar experiences, and yeah, but I feel that's a topic for another day. Just kind of it's quite a big one, and I feel like that's something I'll cover at another time. But yeah, I feel good now, so things are good. Right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.